There's been a show of unity on the New South Wales election campaign trail, with Labor announcing it'll match a government policy to support domestic violence victims. Julia Bradley has the details.
The New South Wales Opposition is backing a newly announced government policy which would help victim survivors escape a violent relationship. Under the scheme, victims of domestic violence would be classed as first home buyers, even if they already own property with an ex-partner, allowing them to access the Coalition's new land tax scheme. The policy gives first home buyers who buy a property up to the value of $1.5 million the option of paying an annual fee of $400 plus 0.3% of the land value instead of paying an upfront stamp duty. Victim survivors could also access interest-free loans for a bond to secure a rental property without having to meet eligibility criteria.
Well, this is all about providing a range of initiatives, looking at innovative ideas and solutions to provide that care and support so that women who are in a domestic violence relationship can get into housing faster.
Now, we are following the Coalition on this, that is the truth, but I've always said if there's a good initiative, one that makes sense, one that makes a difference, we will make sure that it has bipartisan support. Labor
is also vowing to build a new centre for multicultural and refugee families experiencing domestic violence. The centre would cost $7 million. It would be built in southwest Sydney and support 7,000 cases every year.
We are in fact the only state in the entire country without similar services in place, and it really rests on this idea that new migrants need someone who can speak their language, understand their culture, and will be there for them when they're in danger and they need help.
While there's parity over policy, there's a battle brewing in Labor's most marginal seat. The opposition leader was out sandbagging his electorate of Cogra, held on just 0.1%, amid reports former Liberal challenger Scotty Yung is considering running again. He weakened Mr Min's primary vote lead to just 69 votes in 2019.
He is more than entitled to put his hand up and fight for that seat, but I'm going to fight for it too. And I'll be talking about tolls and infrastructure and investment that my community needs.
The Premier refusing to confirm Mr Yung's run.
He did very well last time. I remember before the election last time being with him in Cogra. He's a strong candidate, and from what I understand, he'd do well, but ultimately that's a matter for the party.
Dominic Perrottet denying reports Mr Yung could be offered a sweetener in the form of an upper house position to persuade him to rerun.